get so mad, there's no control
Ladies
of
and
me.
gentlemen,
My thoughts
just in
get
case
so
you
bad,
live
I'm
under a
like,
rock,
I might
you
grab
are
a
looking
bat, I
at the
don't know, my rap, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you had such a fuck up real bad. Shut up.
What is up, everyone? We are the SummerSlam review. We are here live. We just did the watch along. Now we're going to review the program here for the SummerSlam, the summertime extravaganza for the WWE. We have a lot to unpack here. First and foremost, I am BX Sports Jedi Kev, the Don of the watch along. In with me, Heel. What's up, Heel? You are muted, my friend. So everything, all that.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. I didn't say anything afterwards. But anyway, I'm sorry, people. I'm just so excited to talk about this show, and that's why if I get on to random rambles or whatever, that's because I'm just really excited. So let's get on the roll.
Let's get with it. It is the first pay-per-view or premium live event, stadium house show of the summer without Vince McMahon in creative or the company, head of the company. We start off with the Raw Women's title between Bianca Belair taking on Becky Lynch. What a match to start it off. Heel, I was excited for an opening contest. It kicked it off the right way. Man, it looked phenomenal with the sunlight, the daylight. It looked phenomenal. What was your opening of the event?
Yeah. Yes. First of all, I just want to get this out of the way. No problems with the booking order of the show. I felt like everything was booked perfectly. And then for this match to open, you had a little bit of like, okay, I don't know how this is going to be as an opener. But then these women went in there and they tore the house down. And do you know how hard it is to tear the house down? Not like in the daytime, and on top of that, with the pressure of it being the SummerSlam, these women just went in there and they said, "You know what? Fine if we have to open the show. Fine if it's in the daytime. Fine if it's SummerSlam. We're just gonna go in there. We're gonna show you that even though Roman and Brock are in the main event, even though this is happening, we're going to show you why women's wrestling is not only the future, but it's the big time in the present." And they just tore it apart in all sort of good ways. Yes, and the ring gear was absolutely phenomenal as well. The whole time that they were wrestling, it reminded me of Scorpion versus Sub-Zero with the blue and the red. That's the kind of vibes I was getting. And I can't say enough positivity about this match. Love the whole thing. I just loved it. The story, the moves in the ring, everything, the entrances, it was amazing. And you know, we could talk about what happened right after you guys are done giving your thoughts on the matches. And
right, we see Becky Lynch come out with a gear red, featuring the color red, and of course you see the champion Bianca Belair come out with the Tennessee Titans blue color. The champion comes out with her ring gear. I thought the match was very well. They wrestled almost 35 minutes in the match, back and forth. You know, we saw a lot of false finishes there. We saw from pump handle slams. We saw from all types of finishes on the apron, back and forth. Samurai, the in-ring chemistry. What was your thoughts? You watched along with me, and I know me and you were excited. Give us the thoughts on the whole presentation of the match.
I thought the whole presentation was it was pretty good. I mean, like the chemistry that they had is amazing. It was, I want to say, better than their WrestleMania match. But I mean, I might be stretching a little bit there. But for me, it was just like the icing on top of the cake.
Yeah, after all that match, 35 minutes, you saw a little bit of fatigue from the ladies, but they delivered here. All in all, we get the win. The Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, defends her title in full fashion, gets the victory, gets the pin in the center of the ring, clean, no questions asked. I was excited with that. And then at the end, we see here now a face turn from Becky Lynch, the extension of the hand, because both ladies fought a great match. You even saw their champion holding back a little bit of tears, both ladies, because they knew that they brought the house down. And they knew that the opening match that they had was freaking phenomenal. And I like that embracement in the ring by both ladies, especially, you know, let's face it, WWE has gone through so many turmoils in the past 45 days. And for them to deliver that there and the ladies perform with so much, the atmosphere might have been heavy in the backstage, or themselves, they're uncertain with the company direction, and deliver that pop. I really like that. That was more of a human moment there. What was your thoughts on Becky Lynch face turning? Kind of, are you okay with it? Did you not like it? What was your thoughts?
For me, I loved it, and at first I was like, okay, so it's just gonna be a normal face turn, but then we saw Bailey come out.
Why do you spoil it? Please, come on. You gotta work with me, man. I'm the host of the show to bring the thing. You do this every week. I didn't say the rest. No, you give it away. You gave it away, bro.
I didn't say the rest.
No, forget it. Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Shariah Ray comes out. I mean, guys got to work with me here with the Heal the Ring podcast. You guys got to work with it. You guys want to, we're trying to have a structure and order, and you do this every week, folks. Come on, dude. Let's get on page. We gotta do a good wrestling show. We gotta. Let's do this, man. We can't be locking. So Bailey comes out, and to the spoil, of course. And she comes out. I loved it. Summarize your thoughts.
Well, I mean, I loved it too. It was when she came out, but then she was like, "I'm not alone." I brought two other people with me. And then out comes Dakota Kai, which I was surprised by. I like I said, I watched her Twitch streams. I didn't notice her. I didn't notice anything different. But then after the fact, after Bailey's like, I've got one more person with me, and then out comes Io Shirai. That right there surprised me the most, because I'm like, what's happening here? Io, I thought you were going back to Japan. She trolled everyone in the IWC, and that was really, really epic.
I agree with you. Heel, now tell me about the ladies here. What was tell me about them. Give me a little backstory. Tell me about who these ladies are for those casuals that are watching the show.
Each one of them made their name even before the WWE, hence why Triple H really did love them. And then he signed them, and he just took a big risk. These are talents that you sign and you take a big risk on, and to be fair, you don't really know quite if they're going to turn out well. And I think with this, they're going to push them really hard, and Bailey, basically the only one that's really turned out to be anything is Bailey, and I think Dakota Kai and Sheree have a lot more to prove, but I really do think this is their big chance to shine, because I mean, why else would you want to have a big moment like this and then not want to do anything with them? And like I was gonna say, I think this is gonna be like Becky Lynch and almost like Bianca Belair versus the whole entire stable, and I'm just really excited to see where this goes. And again, another thing, like I was gonna say, I thought the whole face turn was really gonna be just them doing a normal face turn out of respect, but then it turned into like, oh, this is why they're doing it, because now Bianca Belair is gonna need help against the Evil Three, so to speak, and it's called being in the moment and being a fan, and it's just it's going to be an amazing story, I think, coming in the next month or so. And I'm excited to see what Bianca Belair is going to be. They're going to do a Battle of the Castle, I think it's called.
Yes.
Clash of the Castle. Clash of the Castle. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to see what this sets up. And,
now, when we see the ladies come out, of course, last time we saw Dakota Kai was dropping the women's NXT tag titles with Raquel Rodriguez to Toxic Attraction. Dakota Kai won her title last time on Stand and Deliver the night one of WrestleMania. Her and Raquel Rodriguez, at that time was Kurt Gonzalez, they became NXT tag champions. And then on Tuesday night following WrestleMania, they dropped it on the NXT in Orlando. And then after that, Dakota Kai was released. Now, Dakota Kai, it's good to see her back in the company. I think she's a very talented wrestler. Of course, Mia Shirai as well. I don't know much about her. I know I asked Samurai, and there was a lot of tease of her returning back to Japan, and now she returns. I like this facet. What we saw here was you ladies are out, and I don't want to take it to a WWE, WCW type, but it was like an outsiders. You three, even though Bailey was part of WWE, or it is part of WWE, but you ladies are not Raw. You're outsiders. And I'm going to stand with my sister, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch. We're going to protect the Shield, which is the Raw Shield, and you're not coming here to intimidate us. I liked it. What a way to open up the SummerSlam extravaganza with a lot of buzz, enthusiasm, hope, because you're like, whoa, this is something new, So I like it. I really.
What just happened?
Say again. Samurai, okay?
Samurai?
Yeah, hold on. I did something. Give me.
Yeah, you gotta mute yourself, and you can't be doing that because you're interrupting the stream and doesn't look. And we're trying to do something here to be presentable, and this interruption and this amateur stuff, it's not. It's coming off a little bit. We'll have a conversation after we get out of the stream about this. So we're gonna move on here. We go to the second match of the night. Is the versus Logan Paul. Now, some people could say this was the best match of the night for some folks. Some people could say, wow moment. We have a storyline building up between Miz and Logan Paul all the way back to WrestleMania. From the Stone Cold Crusher finale to the Miz turning. Let me first go with you, heel. I know you are the big fan of the Miz on this channel. How did you like the whole presentation, the match? Miz is one of the safest worker. Talk to me. Give me your thoughts. Go ham it. Here's 10. Here's 5 good minutes. Go for it.
Oh, well, first off, I was really worried if Logan Paul could repeat what he did at WrestleMania. I was like, okay, he did it once, so can he do it again? And then also, I was like, how's Tommaso Ciampa going to play a part of this? Is he just going to have normal interference, or is he actually going to cost Logan Paul the match and then they're going to do it again? I'm like, well, there's a lot of things they can do right here, and I just got to say, Logan Paul, he tore the house down.
Yes.
And I, like I said, I was talking to my other friend as we were watching this. I'm like, Logan Paul, like, if you like, I don't know how or why, but if you didn't know about Logan Paul and you were just watching SummerSlam for the first time, you didn't know about him, you would assume that he's been wrestling for probably like at least 5 to 10 years.
You're right.
The way he goes in the ring, like, he's literally amazing in the ring. And then the way he wrestles with The Miz, and granted, maybe The Miz does help because The Miz is a great in-ring general. Maybe once he wrestles someone else, maybe we'll see what Logan Paul can actually do. But literally, Logan Paul, besides that, looks phenomenal. I feel like you can actually trust him against other people. Like, granted, there was that moonsault on the outside that looked a little bit iffy, where he landed a bit too hard. And you can kind of blame that a little bit on The Miz, maybe. Because I know you're supposed to catch your opponent, but I don't know how hard Logan Paul came down. Granted, but still, other than that, everything was just amazing. The story of this match and everything, and again, we're talking about one of the Paul brothers, who in real life is viewed as anyone that pays attention to anything mainstream. He's viewed as a really major bad guy, and you're turning him into one of the good guys in wrestling, thanks to not only the Miz but how he's being booked in wrestling. I'm like, I swear, wrestling can do wonders for you, not only as a person, but literally making you look just amazing, like as a performer. I mean, I love this match. I loved everything about it.
Yeah, Samurai. We were talking on the watch along. We were comparing these to the different celebrities that perform Steve Amell, the Bad Bunny. Yeah, now here with Logan Paul, and we were ranking them on that. I know we, not many everyone that did the watch along is listening to the review here. And I want we'll ask your input as well, Heel. Best, one of the best celebrities matches, in ring performance, or you think he, where does that rank in the Samurai book of matches?
Well, if I had to rank from, 1 to 3, because there's only been 3 so far, I would rank him at number 2, right behind Stephen Amell. And then Bad Bunny, sadly, is number 3. I mean, there's nothing wrong with third place. I mean, it all goes to who you're working with in the ring as well. So, Stephen Amell had Cody Rhodes, and who else was he in the ring with? I don't remember. But he had Cody Rhodes to help him along with that, and Neville. Neville, and I think Bad News Barrett. I'm not even sure who it was, but
I don't remember. To be honest with you, I don't remember who Amell was the counterpart to wrestling there. Good question, good call there. But I do remember Amell being really good in the ring.
Yeah, and then as I say, why is it anyway? They changed her name on the main roster. Really, Io Shirai. She actually called herself Eco Sky.
Okay, we're right now with the Logan. Let's stick with the Logan Paul match right now.
Yeah, no, I was looking. Twitter just popped up. Like I was saying, yes, he actually is better than Bad Bunny. But like I said, Bad Bunny had Damian Priest, The Miz, and John Morrison to work off of. So, I mean, it's really tough. It's tough to compare, realistically. Like that's why I was kind of like iffy about it, because I didn't know where to rank all of them. But I just went with my gut, basically. I mean, like that frog splash from the top to the announce table was wow. It was pretty intense. I don't know how he made it that far, honestly.
It was a really good, and he flew across. I love to see that. Heel, what was your best celebrity? If you want to rank it, or maybe there's a celebrity that we didn't even picture. Maybe you liked Karl Malone back in the day in the ring.
Man, it's really hard, but I gotta go with Logan Paul as my number 1, not just because he's recent, but just because he's the only celebrity that at least I can remember that actually legit got signed to a yearly deal by the WWE. But we're talking about celebrities that just reformed. You got to put Mike Tyson up there. I mean, him and Stone Cold and the conversation that they had, that to me had the bigger impact on the wrestling business, because Mike Tyson at the time was so mainstream that him and Stone Cold and what they did really started. I'm not gonna say started, but it helped the wrestling boom into a whole new fan base and got it into mainstream. So I think Mike Tyson, you got to put him in the top 3 just for that. So,
I think I don't want to. I don't mean to interrupt you, but what about Pat McAfee? He's also a celebrity.
He's a celebrity, but I think he's placed his top 5 because he's not I don't.
But didn't he participate in NXT? Samurai.
Yes, he did.
So
he was in NXT with Adam Cole.
He's mainly a commentator, though. He doesn't wrestle like Logan Paul does. He doesn't cut promos regularly.
But here's the thing that I'm gonna say a little bit of what excludes a little bit Pat in my book. Since he's been in NXT, working NXT, he has access to the performance center with the producers, with the coaches. As of, I know that they'll still work with Lord. They're not going to just have Logan Paul come from the street and go in and wrestle. They're going to work, of course, once they agree with that. But I think he had more coaching than Logan Paul. So I could see McAfee more of a talent, WWE talent, as Logan Paul. Though Logan Paul now is considered WWE talent because he signed that contract. But okay, there's a little bit of a parallel balance, but you could exclude a McAfee if you wanted to. I could see in a world where you could exclude him, but all in all, you can't go wrong. To me, the best performer in wrestling right now as a guest is Logan Paul. There, because tell me which other celebrity is going to try to do that frog splash across that far away.
That's true, and he also got to include Mr. T from the 80s.
Oh, of course, Mr. T, WrestleMania 1. But Mr. T was a safe, even though that was the biggest spot for a celebrity.
Yeah.
You could say Mr. T is the best, the greatest one, because it kicked everything off, the pioneer. Because if it wasn't for him, if he would have not been a box office success with WrestleMania and in-ring performance, then we would never have any of these celebrities participate.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you could say Mr. T first. Good call there here.
Yeah. Muhammad Ali, I think he was a special guest referee at one point.
No, Muhammad Ali had a match with Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah, that too, yeah.
Yeah. So move on here.
We can debate this in terms of impact or sign all day, but yeah, there's a couple of celebrities.
Give me your final thoughts. What was your final thoughts? You had something there, and you had a point there.
Oh, that I was gonna say. I was like, it depends on you value more, impact or long-term signing. And in this case, I value the long-term signing and impact. I value both of them. So impact, I'm going Mike Tyson. Long-term signing, I think right now you gotta give that honor to Logan Paul. I'm being fair.
All right, we shall see, because he said that's how you are with your champ. So we'll see there. Before we move on that match, we saw AJ Styles. I'm a little tired. It's past midnight here. AJ Styles interfering and knocking up. Well, Ciampa was getting first interfering, and the referee tosses him. He wasn't going to leave. He was going to take a chair and stay there. We saw AJ Styles come out and make a SummerSlam appearance, give the phenomenal forearm there. I liked it. Salute Jerome with us in the Philippines. Jerome, you like wrestling? Let us know if you do enjoy wrestling. Let's go Roman Reigns. So he does. Let's go Roman Reigns. So he is a Roman Reigns fan. Good to see. Good to hear that. And we see that AJ is going to be there. Could be set up a tag team match for Clash of the Castles. We shall see there for that. I say yes, please. I wouldn't mind seeing that again.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I would love for the Miz to come out on Raw and be like, if it wasn't for you, I probably would have won this AJ. And then next thing you know, it's Tommaso Ciampa and the Miz versus Logan Paul and AJ. So yeah, good call there, Kev. So yeah, there's a lot of things they can do going on with this storyline.
All right, we'll move on. Let's move on to the next match. Here was for the United States title, Bobby Lashley taking on Theory. Now, this match here was a lot of implication there. Was a short match to the point. Could be said it could be the weakest match of the night if you want to. I don't know. The match between Theory and Lashley, I wasn't invested. How about you?
Okay. The way I like to see this match is, yes, I agree. It was one of two matches on this card that I would say was the weakest out of all the matches on this card. However, you do need your calm down matches. And calm down doesn't always mean bad. This was, in my opinion, an okay to solid match that was all about just telling a story. And it was telling a story about how strong Bobby Lashley is and how much of an obstacle he is to overcome with Theory. Now, rather how good or not they actually told that story is up to the viewer. To me, they told it good enough. However, was it my favorite match on this card? Absolutely not. Um, but I didn't mind it at all. Um, I did like the spot though when Theory did this thing through the ropes and Lashley then caught him in midair and then he got him into the submission. I went crazy for that, and so did my other friend. And you know, yeah, I mean, you know what? Like I said, if you're an old school viewer, you probably like this match because this is a plastic story. But if you're a modern day wrestling fan, you're probably like, yeah, this kind of wasn't my cup of tea. As for me, it wasn't really my cup of tea, but overall, not gonna complain. You need these types of matches, and or else we probably wouldn't have the energy later on to cheer for, future matches like we did.
All right. So me personally, I don't know what it is. I like the fact that Lashley, if Theory wasn't going to win the title and move on and have that big magical night, like we mentioned, now Lashley, it's good to see the title, at least that title being defended on the card. I wish Gunther would have defended his title against Shinsuke Nakamura. I think that would have been a good match part of this tonight. It is what it is. They should have slipped that match in there with the Rollins. Instead of Rollins and Riddle, they should have slipped that match in there, personally, in my opinion, because you got to showcase your mid-card champions. You got to, especially you got two larger-than-life persona now holding those titles. And now Lashley with Gunther, that's for another podcast we could reiterate. But Lashley wins. All right, we move on. But to me, he is not appealing to me. He's big. He has the characteristics, the look, and what he is. But storyline wise, and I don't know, his matches to me personally, that's just me. I'm not invested or could get too excited. But I understand he got and you know what? It was short and sweet. I'm like, good. We don't need to drag it. You Austin Theory, you want to tap out? We tap out. I'm all right with it. We will move on to the next match. Now, a good match here. The Mysterios taking on Judgment Day. Now, one thing, let me ask you before we even go any further. I know stadium shows pop. That it looked great on TV. With having that capacity crowd of 40,000+. But man, these folks, the walk they had to get to the ring kind of lost a little bit of the luster, in my opinion, because my God, it took so long for Judgment Day to get to the ring. Or any competitors.
For me, it didn't, just because I always love it when WWE makes a different stage. So for me, it actually enhanced my viewing experience. For me, I was automatic, literally from the get-go, I was like, oh my God, it's a different setup. And I was already locked in as a viewer.
Right.
Maybe if you're one of the wrestlers, maybe you get tired you out or something like that. I don't know. But I mean, if you came in first and you had a few minutes to rest, heck, even second, if you came in, you had a few seconds to gather in your breath and all that. And plus, you're a wrestler. I would hope you have decent cardio. So yeah, like I said, as a wrestler, I hope you have decent cardio. And as a viewer, it gave me a nice visual effect for the show. So I'm not complaining at all.
All right. I thought it was a little long because, especially if you wanted to bring interference or someone new or whatever, it was cool the way they brought the girls in the beginning. But here, I thought if there was going to be we'll get to that in a minute. We had, all in all, Mysterios, both Dominic and Rey as a tag team worked well. I thought Judgment Day also looked really awesome. I think Judgment Day works when they have Rhea Ripley. Personally.
Yeah, they do. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't that into Judgment Day when it came to their debut with Edge. I thought they were still a really cool stable, but there was something about them that needed to feel like actual rebels, almost like a brainwash type of sense. And so I like this new Judgment Day where it's just like we don't really have a leader on a technicality, but we kind of like you don't know really who the leader is. You kind of pick and choose your own leader. Like for me, sometimes it's Balor, sometimes it's Ripley. Like I kind of like that about Judgment Day.
To me, it seems like Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
She looks like she's the one that runs that. I mean, you could make it that way because they were so over when she wasn't available. They were like, they were an afterthought. With her being there and the way she interjected herself in this match, when Mysterios were gonna go for the double 619 and she grabbed both their feet, both their legs, and knocked them both down. And it worked. We saw some good false finishes by both competitors. Rey Mysterio, of course, at that age, 47 years old, still has it. Great moves. We saw some really good moves from both him as well as Dominic Damian Priest looked phenomenal. What a big man. Even Dominic looked good in the ring, although Dominic is getting a little pudgy there.
I don't think he's getting pudgy. I just think like Dominic, like I think he's still really good in shape. I think maybe the reason why he also just looks like that is because of his age. I think people forget the guy's only like 24 or 23 still.
But for that age he should. But yeah, compare him to Theory. Look at his body Theory has compared to Dominic.
Yeah.
Dominic, you look at the outfit. Let me see if I have it here. I think I got it. There's a belly. We mentioned that on the watch along. We were like, whoa, Dominic looked a little pudgy there. Gained some extra pounds.
I mean, yeah, it'll take him a minute probably to get a wrestler's spot, so to speak.
But he's been didn't he debut 2 years? 2 years, right? He's been in WWE.
Yeah, granted, 1 year he debuted in the COVID year, granted, but
yeah, you see there. Maybe it's the outfit. Maybe it's the outfit heel. Maybe it's the outfit.
Maybe because he does have those pads and all that. So
maybe it's the outfit, but he did look pudgy there. But when they're ready to get the Mysterios for that, when Rhea Ripley interferes, we get the music. We get turned off the lights. The music hits, and out comes the man in the promos that everyone knew and thought it was, and his name is heel
Edge.
There you go, Edge. The new look of Edge. Did you like the new look from Edge?
Yes, I think it's a mixture of everything of his career. And the moment I didn't think I was gonna pop for it because I was like, oh, it's a sing wrestler again, and it's hard to get those pops. But the moment he rose from the stage, whatever it was, and with the flames like that, I was like, oh my god, this is one of the coolest entrances I've seen in a long time. And he had different music again, I think, and everything. Like it was almost like a remix of The Brood, and I was like, I can tell I'm already gonna love this Edge. And the good thing about his character that I can tell I'm already gonna like is he doesn't really fight for either one. He was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go in there and I'm just gonna get my change back, so to speak.
Right. Before I send it over to Samurai, once again I was telling you about the length of the arena to get to the ring. You got to have Damian Priest go halfway just to meet Edge to build up that intensity of that battle. There, Samurai, give me your thoughts. Edge repackaging. Did you like it? And what was your thoughts?
I liked it. I mean, as I said during the watch along, I wish they would have brought somebody else with them because they would have made much more sense. Because if he's doing this whole Brood remix, I guess we'll call it, he has to have at least like two other people with him.
I disagree. I really do.
I
disagree a lot, and I'll tell you why. And I even disagree with Kev saying that the Damian Priest having to come all up, whatever it is you're saying. I think the whole thing was perfect because it's the whole, like, I get it now. The promo, what he was wearing and everything, I get it now. What Edge is doing, signifies his whole entire career. It's not a matter of him needing a partner. It's not a matter of him really anything. It's supposed to signify his career all into one. And then when Priest came up and tried to attack him, I like that because it told the story of like, hey, we got rid of you once, we're gonna try to get rid of you again and once and for all. And Edge was like, no, not this time. And then he just immediately started attacking him. Then Edge immediately climbed in there, and he, and then that whole thing started, and it made Priest like almost seem like not panicking, but like he'd be like, oh crap, he actually got away from me. I kind of failed. Now I got to redeem myself, and then Edge got him again, and it's like it just told this awesome story that I was just so invested into, and I was like, let's go. I'm like, I didn't know Edge would be this cool at like what, almost 50 years old or something like that, but it worked perfectly. And just because he's using a remix of the Brew doesn't mean he needs a tag partner. Again, this whole thing, I get it now. It's a sign of his career all into one.
Well, I mean, no.
All right. Yeah, go ahead, Samurai.
Okay, well, what I was gonna say, what I meant by that was like, I mean, the whole brewiness of it. I mean, he came out from the fire. That reminded me of the Brood. Realistically, it reminded me of when him and Christian were with Gangrel.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I pictured, I don't know who else has that dark satanic style of promo, or not promo, but like entrance. Two people that come to mind: the Fiend and Killer Cross.
Yeah,
like I just the way I saw it, the way I pictured it basically was those two coming up with Edge. That's what I was going with that.
Yeah, that's fine if that's what you pictured, but I'm just saying Edge doesn't need that, and that wasn't what he was aiming for, or even the WWE.
Now, here's where I disagree totally with that. So Edge now going forward. So Edge, you're telling me Edge is going to go with this feud by himself, and he's going to take on Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest by himself because he doesn't need anyone to.
I never said
help him
exactly. I never said exactly by himself.
He does need. He needs to bring other folks in this. And one thing I don't like. I understand the culmination of the his career, but you already have a dark facet here in Judgment Day. Why is he coming back as dark also? I mean, dark, kingdom divided doesn't stand. If you have the same facet, dark versus dark, it doesn't work.
It's because the story here is basically like, yes, it's like the Judgment Day created the darkness, but it's like Edge is basically saying, but I am the darkness. That's basically what this is a storyline of. I
mean, I can see that.
Yeah.
But, somebody also says...
how much did the bottom of the ring seats cost? It did look... That was funny, football fan. It was. I don't know. I'm going to see where it goes here. Like you said, Samurai, would have been nice if he would have said, I'm not alone. He comes out either with the Fiend... with a lot of the lights come out, or even Killer Cross, bring in another facet or another guy to come out with the same kind of look with the red jacket. Johnny Gargano would have looked awesome too in a leather jacket like that with him, and because you're not going to have Christian, of course. Christian Cage is, he's hostile and he's being hostage in AEW, and he has a contract, which he's older anyway. Gangrel is an instructor in AEW. He's not going to come out, and he's old anyway. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe Beth Phoenix would have been, at least come out with Beth Phoenix. You would have been all right, because now, could neutralize a Rhea Ripley, and then they're one man short. Okay, we got it for tonight. But all right, I'm glad that he's back. But I don't know. Let's see where that goes. I'm not gonna put too much stock or hope because he is 47 years old in it. So
I'll just say this for you and Samurai: let the story play out.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I'm not hating it, but it would have been, all that promo vignettes for you to come out again. It's like, you know, you just, I don't know. It was, to me, it was anticlimactic, that part. If you would have brought a new wrestler, someone with you, oh, whoa, you teased something here. Yeah, but we'll move on. Although we'll see. Like I said, I'm not hating it totally. Let's see how it plays out. We go forward with that, and then we find out the grudge match of the night. I call it the grudge match because you see former NFL teammates, broadcaster now, and
Are they really
going
still
against
playing
Happy.
with the damn internet? Hello.
You're good. You're good. Just,
Oh my god, my
you're
parents
good.
are playing with the internet. That's why it keeps
Yeah,
going.
your internet is fine.
You're good. You're fine. You're fine. We now you see Happy Corbin taking on.
Hold on.
Happy Corbin takes on Pat McAfee. Now this match, tell me your thoughts.
This match, I was really looking forward to. Actually, because like I still remember how Pat McAfee did again. I believe again at WrestleMania. I think ironically, was it against Happy Corbin also, or was
it was against Theory. Also, my technical difficulties keep happening.
Yeah. Okay.
The Theory. It was against Theory.
Theory. Yeah. I remember. Yeah, I remember. Because sorry. I remember. You gotta say, when I think of Theory at WrestleMania, I think I'm getting stunned.
By Stone Cold.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, Stone Cold stole the show, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, yeah. So I was looking forward to this match. My only question was, how good is their chemistry going to be? Because like Happy Corbin obviously has like a kind of like, I wouldn't say really slow way of wrestling, but he has a really clean and kind of like interesting pace. We'll say that. And Pat McAfee obviously is an everyday wrestler, so to speak. He wrestles, he commentates fully and wrestles kind of part-time-ish. So I was like, this is going to be really interesting. This isn't going to be a match that either ends up really surprising people or it's just kind of like there and maybe bumps the show down to like a 7 or 8. And boy, did this match actually surprise a lot of people. Because this match, again, a great match. I'll be honest with you, great match. Yeah.
Indeed, because we saw McAfee hit a Hurricanrana. Looks way better than expected because you didn't expect him to hit a Hurricanrana like that. We saw also McAfee with a black flip off the top ropes and only to take a drop kick from Corbin, but it was a nice sequence. The chemistry was really good in the ring. I think the Santon Bomb from McAfee hitting from the top ropes onto the floor, which could have been a disaster. I know Samurai mentioned it on the watch along, but he kind of saved it at the last second, and Corbin saved it. All in all, I liked it. You know, you saw McAfee hit a low blow and followed by that sunset flip for a win. Or Samurai, give me your thoughts on the finishing of the match, and you were watching along with me. All those different moves there with the kick, with the backflips, and that Santon Bomb on the apron.
Well, it shows his athleticism. I mean, you know, the whole premise of the match, the story of the match was basically Baron Corbin, Happy Corbin thinks that McAfee should stay in the commentary booth where he belongs. So McAfee was out to prove him wrong, and he did. He proved him wrong. But as far as like the everything from that almost disastrous swanton bomb to the backflip to the kick to the low blow to the Panama Sunrise was almost in fluid motion, almost perfect. Only thing is that when he did towards the end, he almost botched the Panama Sunrise.
It almost did, but he recovered. To me, a very good match. I really enjoyed the match. Pat McAfee, second time he delivered, I really enjoyed it. What can I say? It was really good. I really enjoyed. Do you think they continue with this feud? I think this feud is dead. It's over.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I think it's dead too. I mean, it should have been just a one-time thing. I hope it is, because I mean, you know, we have a new boss in charge, so we'll see what happens.
Well, we shall see there. We move on to the undisputed tag team champion match between the Usos taking on the Street Profits with the special enforcer Double J Jeff Jarrett. Now, this match was pretty good. It wasn't like their first match in Money in the Bank, but it was a good match. Heel, the presentation wise, what's your thoughts?
I'm gonna try not to get carried away like I did earlier in the program, but again, I don't think words can give this match justice. Because again, like I said in the watch along when I first popped in, there's nothing these two tag teams can do wrong. They just deliver every time they fight. Like, again, just another phenomenal match. I'm assuming you got a few pictures to show, and if you do, like let's just set it up, man, because like everything they did was beautiful. Like, yeah, so I'll just say that it's great, and if whoever you want to talk about that will don a watch along, let's just keep it rolling because you know what, let's just do it. But yeah,
all right. Now, I got a little testy in the beginning. I'm gonna go to Samurai. Samurai, what was your thoughts on the outcome of the match? If you could give the outcome of the match, and do you agree with the outcome of the match?
Yes, I agree with the outcome of the match, but also like at the same time, as I said earlier in the watch along, who do they have that are tag teams that can face the Usos and be believable? You know.
All right. We all saw. I gave him the opportunity if he wanted to tell us who won the match, but he punted. I get it. We saw.
Well, I just don't want to get carried away like I did last time.
I know that. I'm glad. That's why I gave Samurai the opportunity to go ahead and do it. We see the Usos defending their titles and getting the victory on a pinfall. We saw Montez Ford hit a tremendous frog splash, but he oversold it or act like, he just hesitated. And when he knew that second of the hesitation, I knew they were not going to win that match there. And I knew that, but Montez Ford had like a look in his eye, like he was like disbelief. Do you see something being built there as a dissension with these two, or did you give me your thoughts on the ending on that title match there, heel?
I don't know if there's gonna be like a breakup soon or anything. But either way, like I'm loving this story of like the Street Profits really being frustrated, like because every time they come so close, it feels like they're one more finisher, one more big move away from winning it, and the crowd is so behind them. I'm behind them. Like I want them to win the titles so bad. Like I never thought they would ever get like this, over. But it's like, just give them the titles. They deserve it. They've done everything right. And it's like, but the Usos, they just, and it's just an amazing story going behind this. And I honestly hope they stay together and win the titles at least once. But I don't know. And I don't know how I would feel if they somehow broke up because they couldn't win the big one. But I hope they do. I hope they stay together until they win the big one, because like I'm really invested in this feud. I really am.
All right. So Samurai, same question to you there. I know you were watching along, and we thought something was going to happen. They kept Usos look kind of weird. They paused instead of continuing. Talk to me.
Well, I mean, yes, I did see the anger and frustration in Montez Ford. As soon as he got the kick out, like you saw him get very, very frustrated with Jeff Jarrett, and from there when he tagged in Angelo Dawkins, that's when he hit that big spaceman plunge over the top rope. And then the Uso, or was it? No, it was a suicide dive. He tried to hit the suicide dive, and the Usos get hit with a super kick. And they threw him outside the ring, over the barricade. Excuse me, I can't talk. And so when they did that, you knew it was over for Angelo Dawkins, because he also got super kicked in the face. He got the 1D. That was the end of the match. But at the end of the match, you thought something was gonna happen between the Street Profits, but it didn't. So they're teasing it.
Yeah, they're teasing it. We shall see there the direction that they're going to continue there. We'll find out with that. It'll be interesting going forward because, like you were saying, we don't know who is going to step up to the unified tag titles. But you still have the Vicious Viking Raiders. They look, but I don't think they're quite there ready yet to be on that Uso level. We shall see where they go going forward, storyline wise. Don't be surprised on Monday Night Raw. We see these two go at it one more time, a rematch here. Last opportunity and then the storyline develops wherever storyline they go there. But it'll be interesting. I thought not as great match as the first time they fought. And Jeff Jarrett there was eh. What'd you thought of Jarrett in this match?
Oh, well, like I said, funny enough, my friend was like, wow, is he like the best referee ever? Is that why he gets entrance? And I was just like, no. Actually, he's a WWE Hall of Famer, and he's really good at wrestling. Ironically, at least in my opinion, his best matches were actually in TNA. But that's what I told him, and he was like, oh. I was like, yeah. But, I mean, yeah, I can see both sides. Again, he was a little bit unnecessary, but he did his job in this match. I don't have much to say about it.
All right, we'll move on here. We go for it is the SmackDown's women's title. Now, a match that went pretty quick here. You have the rematch, Liv Morgan taking on Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey comes out first. She looked like she gave a high five to everyone going down the ramp. It looked good there, trying to get the crowd on her side. The match starts. You saw Liv getting her arm worked on, typical MMA style, trying to get the submission there. Let me ask you, Samurai, Liv, without any spoilers of who wins this match here, how do you think this match looked in your eyes? Were you invested? It was a short match, by the way. Did you believe the storyline here or the obstacle with Liv and Rousey?
I don't. They don't have good chemistry in the ring. And maybe it's just because of the way Rousey. She's more of that MMA, style. But their chemistry is not great. If they had some time to work on it, maybe it can get better. But then at the same time, you really can't fault them for trying.
Okay. Now, heel. We see this match, the working on the arm for Liv Morgan. We've seen a storyline building up here that she's going to be, that arm might not help her get her effect, get her finish. We see that Rousey continues to work on that arm. Now, it was actually her demise, as we see Liv Morgan actually gets a pinfall on Rousey while Rousey's doing that armbar for a submission. We saw that Liv Morgan get the shoulders down for a pin, but at the count of 2, we see a tap out. Valid or not valid in your thoughts?
This was one of those. Like I said, we had 2 calm down matches. Yeah, I think so, dude. But yeah, like our viewers here said, I think so. But anyway, I mean, like I said, there was 2 calm down matches. It was the Theory Lashley one. Then there was Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey. And this match, it wasn't bad, but it's like I was a bit off at what they were trying to do. And it was like, are we just gonna do arm bars all day? And I'm just like, okay. I mean, like, I get the story, but like, maybe if this was like the 80s, that would have been a great storyline. But it's like, nowadays in wrestling, you need to do more. For some reason it gave me PTSD back to like the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, where it's like you need to move. It's like, but I love where I live. I don't know why that just popped in my head, but yeah, I know, dumb thought, but yeah.
All right. Personally, I liked it because it protected both women.
Yeah. Long story short,
You're protecting the both women there because
yeah.
the referee got in his position for the pin. So when he's now on the floor looking at the shoulders for a pinning predicament, he's counting and making sure it's checking the shoulders. He is not watching up above to see if there was a submission tap. I kind of liked it because Rousey has a beef. I had her submitted, but you were too busy trying to get the submission that you got pinned.
Yeah, like long story short, I did too. I like that, and I'm not sure if you're ready to talk about the aftermath, but
Yeah, no, go in the aftermath. We see Rousey just totally turns into a total heel, and just go ahead, give us your thoughts there as I put this in the chat for.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey is now officially a heel, and she even took down the referee. And the commentary said something that she's gonna get fined. So I'm just like, are they going with her as kind of like are they gonna make her like probably fight her way back to the title or something like that? I don't know. That could play into the story. And I like how Liv is now being portrayed as an underdog champion. I think that fits well. Kind of like I hate to use this word, but hopefully her title reign does get better. But kind of like a diet Dana Bryan to an extent, like without the major cheers and all that. We'll see what happens. I'll just say I hope Liv Morgan has better matches in the future.
No, rightfully so. There, Samurai. We saw that pin. We both were talking about it. You know, Liv doesn't lose heat. Liv doesn't lose heat. She's still the darling champion, like you said, underdog. I always say like AJ Lee, who looked like the underdog, and come to think about it, she has a long title range because you're like, damn, she keeps winning in different ways or different forms. And Rousey now looks like a total where she needs to be, a badass. Not happy with the crowd, always having that bitter bitch face with no disrespect, going in there with that mean look. As right now, as we're recording, speaking about mean, tough one, Amanda Nunes wins the UFC women's title back from Juliana Pena. Congratulations to Amanda Nunes. Yes, indeed. And we'll go back to the scheduling program. I think I like it. Do I want to see these two ladies again? No, hell no. Move away because they don't have the in-ring chemistry. They don't wrestle well together. I think Liv, you can move forward if you want Liv now to go take on Natalia. I don't mind seeing Natalia again. I don't mind that. Or, next upcoming, I want to see now Rousey get upset and want to take down Lacey Evans. Go get Lacey Evans and move on.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, realistically, it's about time that Ronda turned heel, in my opinion, because like she's dreadfully boring as a babyface. She almost put me to sleep when I was watching that match. Honestly,
I can see where. So if we move on, we get finally to the main event, the big one of all, the grudge match, last man standing match. You have the Tribal Chief taking on Brock Lesnar. A lot of controversy, in my opinion, or unfinished business or questions. I think the business between Lesnar and Roman is finished, but there's an unfinished business, and we'll get to it. We start off with the match with both guys coming in. You see the Tribal Chief took a long time to get in the ring. Of course, that long freaking walk, that's going to be my complaint all the time. But listen, I was in WrestleMania in Orlando, and that wasn't no freaking picnic either. They took a long time to get down the ramp as well. That was a long walk as well. All in all, they get into the ring finally. Brock Lesnar decides to bring in a tractor. Now, Hugh, your thoughts when you saw the tractor? That was cool.
Oh, yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, as we dig into this one and the Get Rich That One movie, hold your tacos, because there's a lot to dissect. You guys remember that saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, when he brought the tractor, I was like, I never thought I wanted to drive a tractor, but I do now, because he makes it look cool. Brock can make anything look cool. And yeah, I mean, I was ready for this match from the moment Roman's music hit. Roman's music hit and then Brock's music hit, and I was like, let's get it on it. And yeah, I was just ready for it.
Right, and Samurai, we get the match here. What was your thoughts, without any spoilers of winning or not or losing? Your thoughts of the match between that last man standing. Did you like it? We saw 2 tables being broken. We saw a lot of foreign objects. How did it look to you?
I mean, it was basically like your standard, no DQ falls count anywhere, Extreme Rules, all mixed into one essentially. We did see them go from pillar to post to the outside. I think they went in the crowd at one point. They were on that thing that holds the structure up. I don't know what the scaffolding type thing. I mean, it was from that. It was a pretty brutal match. I was surprised we didn't see any blood. Well, actually, we did, just like on the cuts on the arms and stuff. But that's about it. Nobody was busted open the hard way.
Right, no one was busted open. The match, was a pretty good match there, back and forth. We finally saw one part that I thought I was a little uneasy, call me a little bit on old fashioned, when Brock decides to take the tractor, and not only he moves the freaking ring over a little bit, he actually keeps it and suspends it up in the air. I'm like, wow, that's last thing you need is something technical malfunction with equipment or not knowing, and you got it, and you start off the new regime with a major lawsuit. I was like, ugh, what are you doing here? So I was a little worried there with that. But, on TV, it looks like, oh, freaking awesome. The ring is standing up in the air by a couple inches.
You got to remember, obviously they wouldn't do that unless they knew they had the green light to.
No, I understand that, but you can never predict. You can never predict that tractor is going to hold the ring, or slippage, or a misfunction with so many people there in attendance. It could be a disaster, live television. So that was just a little bit of a worrisome. But it, all in all, we saw that going on. We saw a lot of, then the Usos interfere, and all hell breaks out. Both competitors are knocked the hell out, and here comes Theory coming down like a little weasel. It took forever for him to get to the ring. That's why the long entrances didn't look so because he could have came in and could have showed us that he could have cashed in, because he got to the ring so quick where guys were knocked out. They lost a little bit of his fluster. But here's the controversy, or more questions. Did he cash in? Was it a successful cash in and a failed attempt? Or wasn't? I'm going to give you my thought. I thought the referee didn't get to ring the bell or made it official. He was handed a briefcase. He was going to, but Brock stopped it from being officially cashed in. Heel, what did you see, or you saw something different?
Yeah, yes, you're absolutely right, actually. Because in order for it to be an official cash-in, they have to announce you in the match and then take your briefcase. None of that happened. The only thing he had was the referee. So yes, Theory is still Mr. Money in the Bank. And not only that, I disagree with you guys on a lot of things. First off, like I said, I love everything that happened in this match. I love the tractor. I love all of that. So to me, this is literally, this was not a standard a last man standing match. To me, this was the last time I checked, standard, no disqualification matches. They don't have tractors moving the ring in them and everything like that. So I'm just gonna say that. And yeah, I love that. I'm just gonna say that real quick. Yeah.
I don't think there was no disagreement. Nobody said that the tractors were bad. It was just I liked it.
The way that it happened. I mean, I kind of agree with Kevin a little bit there, because it really could have malfunctioned. The one of the hydraulics on the tractor could have malfunctioned. But overall in all, they were pretty safe about it, because you saw, as I said in the watch along, Brock killed Roman, and not in a bad way, but the way he fell out the ring was quite you were concerned for his safety. But all in all, he turned out to be perfectly fine.
Well, I think again we got to remember these are professionals, and again, in case people forgot, Brock Lesnar is a farmer when he's not wrestling. That's what he does in his off time, and so he does work with tractors and all that. So he knew what he was doing,
Right, I understand that, but how do you can't script that when the ring was when he pulled up with the tractor. The rollout from Roman, you can't script that he was going to roll out safely. A lot of things could have gone wrong there with that rollout out of the ring because he's being lifted up by that backhoe up in the air. So, yeah, believe me, it looked badass. But you're looking at another way. You also got to be a little bit. I understand it was responsible and safe. It was, I like they're pushing the envelope. Granted, they're pushing the envelope. Just be careful, don't push it too much because you just started this company with new CEOs. I would hate for them to get a new set. I like this new CEO that got there. I would hate for they messed up and they got to now resign because of the freaking mistakes. And you never know what's gonna happen after that. But other than all, it looked good on TV. They're pushing the envelope. I loved it. Yeah. I like the fact that Theory didn't get the cash in and the bloodline. It took the bloodline to really knocked Brock Lesnar, and they put everything but the kitchen sink on top of him. They put tables, they put chairs, the stairs. They put what else they could put. They even put Caputo on him, and they ended up getting the 10 count for the win, last man standing. And we see that Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, retains the title. What did you like that agreement? That.
Oh, I love that finish. And by the way, another spot I really loved when Paul Heyman was like, Here, is this what you want? Is this what you want? Here, just take it. Just leave my tribal chief alone. And then Brock just drops the titles and F5s him onto the table. And then Paul Heyman he's at least getting up there in age. Like he's like what, around his 50s, 60s. And then me and my other friend, we're just like, oh my, goodness, we can't believe you just did that to that old man.
That's true. We even got Heyman. We even got Heyman put to the table. All in all, and we see. Me personally, I wanted Theory to cash in. I think the titles. If Roman Reigns is not going to be a full-time wrestler, if he's still going to be on this major part-time, Haley's Comic type of deal, then please drop the titles. I was thinking, look, I was telling on the watch on, I was telling Samurai, what if both wrestlers get both knocked down to the count of 10? Do we have a brand split titles? One, a draw, each one gets a stake to claim on the titles, and you have two. But then you got two part-timers, two major part-timers. It would have looked, it would have been a move there, but I don't know. So me, I think Roman Reigns, when he does finally lose, it's gonna be like on a random house show, like the way Madison, the way Diesel beat Bob Backlund in Madison Square Garden, like in a memorable moment type of deal. When that happens, I don't think it's gonna happen in Clash of the Castles.
I think what they're doing is they're saving it for a really big moment, and then Theory's gonna cash in. Then that's when he'll get it. I think that's what they're gonna do. And I think also they want to see how really green or, seasoned Theory really is. I think that's why they're doing all this with Theory. So I think by later on, I'll just say this: if Theory doesn't cash in by WrestleMania, or so, then yeah, that's pretty much when we'll know. Theory's probably not going to win the titles.
All right. So before we end the night there, we forgot to talk about the greatest promo of the SummerSlam. And I know you liked it. We saw Maximum Male Model modeling Pure Water. They made Pure Water look phenomenal. They poured all over them. We saw LA Knight, Max Dupree, and we saw Maxine Dupree. What was your thoughts on that promo?
I was just like, I was just like, okay, are we trying to promote water, or are we trying to promote something else? I'm like,
it's telling them that what it was promoting that after that pay-per-view, most people needed to take a shower, either because they were excited and moist of the matches, or because they were all outdoors and they were going to stink with all those people around them. So on that hot summer night, so who knows?
Yeah, like I didn't know. I knew we were going TV 14, but I didn't know it was gonna debut at SummerSlam. I'll just say that.
It was like a wet T-shirt contest. But like, you mean like that one guy in the crowd with the lime green shirt?
Yeah, he needs to take a shower. You see that's when you need him to have that water to wash that shirt. You wear it every time when you're on TV, when you go to the matches. That shirt must stink, my friend. So all in all, it was a good. All in all, what was your grade?
We gotta pay mad respects to the Demon Kane, who showed up to announce the attendance.
Yes, that's right. Kane came out. The mayor of Franklin County in Tennessee, in Nashville, he came out and he announced 46,489 plus there.
Yeah, somewhere around that.
Good job there.
It was a lot of people.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah. You want to go ahead? Or?
Yeah, I do. I saw something on the Twitter machine. On the Twitter machine, that it was actually they embezzled the amount of people that were actually there. It was actually by about 10,000, so it wasn't really. It was like 38,000 or something like that.
Okay, but that stadium holds almost 50,000 people.
Oh yes, I know. But like,
that place was packed. I didn't see an empty. And it wasn't like Ring of Honor.
AEW.
Yeah, that they say, oh, it's a packed house, and there's photos there of the whole place empty.
Yeah. And by the way, it was a cool moment when he looked side to side from the ring and he was like, you know what? For old time's sakes, boom. Then you see the both ring all the ring posts get lit, you know.
But all in all, it was a success. Stadium show. It was a real good success there, in my opinion, for the WWE post Vince McMahon. I thought the show was phenomenal. You could give the show a 9. It was almost perfect. It was perfect. You know, the reason why I'm not going to give it the full 10, because the 9 is they did a few things that was a little sketchy that could have went bad with the props, with the tractor. That could have been completely dangerous, you know, all in all. But it's just a little bit of nitpick.
I'm going to give it I want to give it a 10 out of 10 so bad.
Okay, go for it.
But the reason why I'm going to probably end up being fair and giving it a 9 out of 10 is it's for completely different reasons than you. I think it's mainly for the Theory and Lashley match, and then for the Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey match. And then that's it.
All right, Samurai, what's your take?
I'm going to agree with both of you, but give it a 9.5.
Yeah, I was going to change that too. Go for it.
Two of the matches, basically, if they had, went longer, the matches would have been a 10 out of 10 for me, but the matches were just not great. Like, Theory and Lashley was about 5 minutes, and Ronda and Liv, it just wasn't good. Not at all.
All right, I got you. I thought Liv Morgan was okay because the outcome, the way that they finished that match. Oh, the match wasn't that really great, but I like the way the outcome, the way they presented that finish was fine. Me, I thought the Lashley and Theory, just Lashley's like showing tinfoil, in my opinion. And that's just that prop. I was gonna change 9.5, and I'm gonna keep it at 9 because there was no Vince McMahon.
we forgot to mention something. Seth Rollins.
Yes, I was gonna bring that right up there. Is it worth mentioning it? Yeah, because it happened. I thought it was just a filler. Seth Rollins and Riddle, they went all at it. Seth Rollins still stomped them again, and now what I said, good. Now I could go get physical therapy with my main bro Randy.
Yeah. And then there's Drew McIntyre, and that's it. The promo, like,
that was stupid. That was the most dumbest thing ever. Seeing him come out there, and he went halfway. Because I told you once again, that takes forever to get to the ring.
Well, that promo did serve a purpose because it promoted Clash at the Castle in advance on SummerSlam.
And that one fan
Cody.
got
It
It was Cole, actually. His name was Cole.
Cole.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say that was stupid. That was actually really smart.
I could have
but it was filling in airtime. I'll give you that.
I could have went without it. Yeah.
Yeah. The only part about that promo was Cole got that big face pop.
Yeah.
He got his name chanted.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We mentioned that on the stream, but all in all, I loved it. If WWE is going to continue to have these type of matches, events, exciting like that, it's a hit now. Now to complete this trifecta, now we need to see Monday Night Raw after this SummerSlam. Show me that you're going in a different direction with your booking. Show me there's something different now. Prove it now on Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw is going to be exciting to expect the unexpected in Monday Night Raw after this aftermath on SummerSlam. Your thoughts there before and your final thoughts so we could say goodnight because I am tired.
My only final thoughts are I bet it was refreshing and nice for anyone who watches this to hear positivity. And subscribe if you want to hear more positivity and keep watching The Hill of the Ring. And if you want to hear negativity and also subscribe to that, go watch the Yankees a watch along and look out for Caputo.
Samurai, give me your thoughts so we can say goodnight because it is 1 a.m. and I appreciate everybody that stayed up to watch it and listen to us.
I mean, I'm gonna agree with Heel. I mean, the positivity that people are gonna start showering WWE with, it's much needed. I mean, for Triple H's first SummerSlam show outside of the reigns of Vince McMahon, he did pretty good for himself. Minus 2 matches, but they were those. We already talked about that. We're not gonna say it anymore. Other than that, I feel like he has a long way to go before he drains the swamp completely. Next thing to go is Kevin Dunn.
All right, so we go here. My final thoughts is SummerSlam was a hit. I thought it was really invigorating, very entertaining, very good matches. Those performers in WWE all are the top-notch performer athletes, not just athletes, not just sports entertainers and wrestling. If you think you just want to be only wrestling, then you know what? You're going to stay small. You got to be a wrestler and a sports entertainer because this is what about. You want the world to watch and you want the wow factor. WWE provides that wow factor because you have to be a sports entertainer. If you're just a wrestler, you're going to be just boring. You're just going to, and you're just going to stay one-dimensional. WWE is transcending dimensions, and I love it. I believe that they're in a good spot here with Triple H, and going forward with the creative, it was phenomenal card. It looked great here. It's going to continue to get better. Now we're going to watch on Monday Night Raw where we go with that. If we're going to continue having these type of call-ups, opportunities to the talented wrestlers that are NXT, this is going to be exciting. You don't have to copy and paste WCW old or whatever Tony Khan is trying to do. Every week you debut in a new NXT or new person. You don't have to do that. But I like the fact that you're injecting a storyline here with new faces, new faces that are part of your company. You're not signing away. This is not Dakota Kai, even though she was working in the Indies. She was the ex-NXT, an NXT wrestler who just was a couple months in NXT. Also, Io Shirai, or what's her new name now? Sky.
Eco Sky, I think.
Eco Sky now. Io Sky is part of the facet with Bayley. Those are former WWE wrestlers who took some time off. You're bringing her. You're injecting a new storyline. Now, we see on Monday Night Raw is going to be Bianca Belair with Becky Lynch and now Asuka. That's a nice trio there. Going up against that trio. That's phenomenal.
That just gave me chills up my spine because I feel like with
Chef Kiss.
Yeah, exactly. With Io Shirai and Asuka, they haven't faced each other in about 10 years. So I would love to see how they react to each other if that does happen.
Yeah. So we like the direction that WWE is going. We're enjoying it. We're going to continue to cover it. We enjoy it there. We want to thank everyone. It's already 1 in the morning. We want to thank everyone for joining us here this evening. This is my third stream tonight. I did the Yankees, the watch along, now here with this review. But thank you guys. Thank you for tolerating me there. We appreciate. Hit those likes. Please share. Follow us on our Facebook page, Heal the Ring Podcast Facebook group, which is growing. We're almost close to 400 growers, 400 followers in that page, and of course, in here we're almost close to 6,000 in YouTube, and of course in our audio platform. Anywhere you get an audio platform, this will be there for you to watch, to hear, and always get over in life. Always do not get pinned by the circumstances, and get over, and always have the sports be with you. Have a blessed Sunday morning, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome! You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up!
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen,
My
just in
thoughts
case
get
you
so
live
bad, I'm
under a
like,
rock,
I might
you
grab
are
a bat,
looking
I
at the
don't know, my
youngest
rap,
and
my blood boils
fastest
over
rising
like,
star in
oh God, here
professional
goes. I
wrestling
lost all
today.
feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt